parallel and perpendicular lines. Use the given conditions to write an equation for the line in point-slope form and in slope-intercept form, passing through -9, -7, and parallel to the line whose equation is y equals -2x plus 2. In order to write an equation in point-slope form and slope-intercept form, we need to have a slope and a point. So we have a point, but we need to find a slope of our new line. Now the problem tells us that our line is going to be parallel to y equals -2x plus 2. Parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope of our line will be the same as the given line. And the slope of the given line is -2. That's because that line is written in y equals mx plus b, so the slope is just the number in front of the x. Now I have my point, which is -9, -7, and we can use the point-slope form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 to find our equation. Now x1 is the -9 and y1 is -7. So I'll just plug in these points and simplify. I have y minus -7 equals -2 times x minus -9. Y minus -7 is the same as y plus 7. And that equals -2 times x minus -9, which is the same as x plus 9. And this form is in point-slope form. So that's my first answer. Now I want to write the line in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to take the point-slope form and just solve for y. So I have y plus 7 equals -2 times x plus 9. I'm going to distribute the -2, so I get -2x minus 18 equals the y plus 7. Then I'll subtract 7 from both sides, and we're left with y equals -2x minus 25. And this form is in slope-intercept form. Use the given conditions to write an equation for the line in point-slope form and general form, passing through 7, -2, and perpendicular to the line whose equation is x minus 5y minus 6 equals 0. So for both of these forms, we want to know the slope and a point. We're already given the point, and we want to find the slope by looking at the equation that's given to us. So this equation is in general form, and I want to write it in y equals mx plus b form in order to identify the slope of this line. So to do that, I'm going to isolate the y. So first we'll add 6 to both sides, and we have x minus 5y equals 6. Then we'll subtract x on both sides, and we have -5y equals -x plus 6. And then we'll divide every term by a -5. That gives us y equals a -x divided by -5, and that's the same as a positive 1/5 x, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then 6 divided by -5 is the same as a minus 6/5. Now, this is the slope-intercept form of the equation that's given to us. In our problem, it says that our answer and our equation is going to be perpendicular to this line. So in order to find the slope perpendicular, we're going to take the negative reciprocal of this slope. So the slope perpendicular is going to be this slope, but we're going to flip it. So instead of 1/5, I'm going to have 5/1, and then I'm going to take the negative of it. So since it's positive, I'm going to make it negative. So my slope of our line is going to be -5. And that's because -5 divided by 1 is the same as -5. Okay, so this is the slope of our new line, and I want it to be going through 7, -2. So I'm going to use point slope form to write my equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So my y of my point is a -2. My slope is -5. And my x1 is a 7. If I simplify this, y minus -2 is the same as y plus 2 equals -5 times x minus 7. Now this is in point slope form. Lastly, we want to write our equation in general form. And general form just means that we'll take this point slope form and we're going to set the equation equal to 0. So in other words, all of our terms will be on the left side and then 0 will be on the right side. So here I'll write our equation. Y plus 2 equals -5 times x minus 7. First, we're going to distribute the -5. So I have a -5x plus 35, and that equals the y plus 2. Now I want all my terms on the left side, so I'm going to add 5x to both sides and subtract 35 to both sides. When I do that, that will give me a 5x plus y plus 2 minus 35 equals 0. And I can combine like terms, so the positive 2 and the -35 make a -33. So my equation is 5x plus y minus 33 equals 0. And this is the general form of the equation.